Alright, folks, and welcome back to the channel. We're here to discuss tomorrow's game as Celtic face Dundee United at Celtic Park. It will be Martin O'Neill's second homecoming after he was appointed manager till the end of the season after the departure of Wilfred Nancy. We'll also discuss which has been yet again another non-existent January transfer window so far for Celtic. To go over everything, I'm joined by Alistair, I mean, first and foremost, we'll talk about the January transfer window. We've still not got a centre forward in the building, and we're sitting on the 9th of January. I'm sorry, but it's completely fucking unacceptable.
Yeah, I know, mate. I'm in no doubt we'll get somebody, mate. But like you, it's unacceptable because everybody in Narwani knows we need bodies.
Aye, no, definitely. And we're now getting thinking back by former players. We're not getting rejected by former players. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't like the whole former player thing. I think it's just pathetic, to be honest with you. And the fact, and this is no disrespect to Kyogo, right? Kyogo was a fantastic player for Celtic, right? Great player, probably.
We got the best to him.
Aye, I'd say the best that we've had since Larson in my eyes, but that's just my opinion. But to go back it was in my eyes ridiculous. But the fact we've even been rejected by Kyogo, or rejected and says he wants to stay, it's just disgusting.
The reason we've been rejected, Josh, I'm going to call this out because he's on a fuck.
That's what I was going to say.
Birmingham.
He's sitting on 40 grand a week.
Aye.
Would you like to cut your wage?
No, well, the thing is, if it's a loan, it's still doing the same money.
Aye. I don't think he wants a loan. I don't really see what I think the whole loan agreement was. I said it when it was rumoured to be a loan anyway. I thought this is going to be rejected because there's not a chance that he's going to come back up here. I don't think there was a chance anyway.
To be honest, I was very torn anyway.
I was torn, but at the same time, I looked at it about the fact that this is a recruitment and people are making up this rubbish about, oh well, what it's a kind of patch-up job to end the season. Yes, I completely understand that, but it doesn't mean you completely abandon any sort of recruitment, because realistically, if you had the proper recruitment, which we don't, right? I can understand that. If you had that proper recruitment in place, it doesn't matter who the manager is.
Exactly.
You would have a proper plan in place.
I'm happy expecting George's Giacomakis to come through the door.
Do you want me to be honest? Do you want me to be genuinely honest? See, at this point, I'm expecting nothing.
Aye.
Genuinely, because I've seen it and we've heard it all before, and I don't fall for the rubbish anymore. I don't fall for it. We've heard all this crap. We heard it last season when it was we needed a striker. We heard it. We've heard it year on year about whatever position. And I'm not blaming Martin O'Neill for what I'm going to say.
No, he's been left holding the baby.
But at the same
equipment
and I'm not blaming Martin O'Neill here at all, right? But then, well, now he's the next manager to come out with, January's a tough window. I'm not convinced.
Not for anybody else, it's no.
Just look at the other two teams in the so-called title race. Rangers are finding it difficult.
But they've got a head of recruitment.
Exactly. But they've got a strategy. Hearts, they're not finding it difficult because they've got a recruitment model. It's difficult for and people might not want to hear that about, and that's what annoys it even more. It's the fact that Rangers are doing the business, because, and I don't know, the players that Rangers bring in could turn out to be rubbish, but they're backing their manager.
Aye, for them time this season, and we'll probably get a Swedish guy, an African Cup of Nations winger. It'll be like the last window. It'll be panicking the last couple of days.
It'll be like fucking. You'll be waiting for the sales.
Aye.
Like a Boxing Day sale or something.
Who can we get? And can I just say before, Callum Wilson not having that either.
But that'll be the type. That's something that'll be, you know yourself. That'll be the type of player that is. It'll be some English, league player that either is wanting to move or is him in a
Well,
cut price deal.
I mean, we need to go back a couple of years to remember how late Adam Reader was.
Aye,
Again,
exactly.
how can you do that?
And that's the thing. I think the recruit, and
And
that's
it's not
why.
just a striker we're needing.
I know. And that's why and I've not subscribed to this nonsense that no, because Martin O'Neill's back winning a title race. We'll be nowhere near it this season.
I
And
think
I mean that. We'll be lucky to finish third this season with this squad.
I take it. I think what the advantage Martin O'Neill will have, he'll organise. It won't be.
I can only go so far. I can only go so far. At the end of the day, you need quality, and he's not a miracle worker. He's not a miracle worker. This squad is in dire need of quality, and they're going to sit there and they're going to.
And you know the worry, Josh, and nobody's mentioned this. We're going to have the same farce in the summer now. Appointing a new manager in the middle of a World Cup, by the way.
It's just the whole. This is and well, somebody I was speaking to somebody. Oh, it's all about the summer rebuild. It's the same clowns that have completely dismantled us that are going to be in charge of the summer rebuild. We're signing. We're in the 9th of January at the moment, and we've signed one player, and the one player was signed was the manager who I think clearly wanted him is off.
Aye.
Well, look, we're going to be signing another player that was Paul Tisdale's recommendation. What the fuck? So you're telling me why would you be doing that? It's just why would I generally it's baffling.
I do like the look of the Canadian boy, I'll say, but
we won't sign him. We're interested. We're good at that. We're good at being interested.
We're good at monitoring the situation.
Aye, we're not actually good at doing anything, so that won't happen. This boy we're signing for this Israeli team. What I've seen him, doesn't look great.
I don't think that will happen, Josh.
Doesn't look great, if I'm being honest with you. And the fact, as I says, that Paul Tisdale was meant to be behind it, and he's off, but we're still. Like, what? I mean, I don't get it. It's baffling what other club operates as. Why would you sack a guy and then use his recommendations? It makes no sense.
I know.
It's just.
It's like,
oh.
Just imagine them up in Lennoxtown at the minute, getting through the all filing cabinets. Where did the lists?
Aye. It's the final kick in the balls. Well, look at now the one thing they've done quite recently, bringing all players back. That's still not working. Where do we go? Is it a recruitment? I think not even a recruitment. It's stinking. And people might say
ideas. It's stinking.
And people might say like, "Oh, he's a worry because Rangers are signing." Yes, I don't. People might not want to hear that, but the difference is every other title rival, and I include Hearts in this, are being ambitious. They're looking at it and go, "What a chance we've got here!" While we just sit there and fart about. It's the same story every single season.
And see, to be honest, it'll be the same in the summer. I can already see it.
And I also see we've done this channel for about 3 years now. About that, about 3 years. And every single January, the same shite gets rolled out on that deadline day video that we do. The same shite. You may as well just see, Boris, we see this season, I'm not even going to make one. I'm just going to upload the same video for last year. And then change the thumbnail. Honestly, it's just... It's just the same story and people might be saying, "Oh, you're just being raging for no reason, or you're just panicking." And we're only 10th of January or the 9th of January. Sorry, you tell me the evidence that this is going to change.
I'll say this, right? What happens if the molar Johnny Kenny dies Maeda pull a hamstring?
Exactly.
Who have you got?
Like it's exactly. You know, Dyson Maeda, who for me isn't the answer up front, but we need to shoehorn him in there because the one we've got in Johnny Kenny is rotten. Like he is bad, like he's not good enough. And then I also feel sorry for Johnny Kenny for a bit because he's yet again put in a situation.
He's been put in an impossible situation.
Aye, exactly. And we're good at that. We put managers in impossible situations that shouldn't be in. We're good at that. We're good at doing that. We're good at putting.
By the way, I know I was joking earlier, tongue in cheek, but would honestly surprise you if I ended up with Giakoumakis. Because it wouldn't be me.
I take him.
I would take him. But
we shouldn't be in that situation. I know it does. You know it does, and people might sit there and say, "Oh, you need to give him a bit of leeway because there's no manager in place." Nah, no, my watch. I'm sorry. Let me get. Nope.
See, all right, Paul Tisdale gets sacked. Let's be honest. But your January transfer window plans should already be in place.
By the way, something else to tell you about Paul Tisdale. Stephen, I don't know if you've read it, but Stephen McGowan did an article, right? It was put on the day about the kind of insights that he's got at Celtic about how the kind of Lance era went. Well, Paul Tisdale told a group of supporters, by the way, according to this article, that that Wilfred Nancy got Celtic more than Brendan Rodgers.
Dear God.
No, I'll rephrase that. Wilfred Nancy got the style or something along those lines. The article's online, so you'll be able to find it. It's quite an interesting read.
There was no style, that was the problem.
No style in terms that he knew more what Celtic were about. No, I'll rephrase that. He was happy to pander to use.
Bullshit.
He was happy to, you know, what's pander a word? Why?
Aye, pander to the gallery.
Aye, you know, just go along with what you wanted today. And don't get me wrong, Wilfred Nancy wasn't a good manager, but this is what it's got. It's a mess.
I still say this is the last time I'm ever going to mention Wilfred Nancy because I found him completely out of his depth. I also found him a bit arrogant in the respect he wouldn't change his style, even when it clearly wasn't working. And I still can't shake the idea. And I know for a fact, Johnson, I know for a fact, I agree with us. He was not interviewed. I'll die on that hill because if he was interviewed, he wouldn't appoint him.
Aye.
In my opinion.
No, you wouldn't. But I mean, I just don't know where we go. I've got, and people might call me being defeatist here, but
I do think Martin will have a couple of aces up his sleeve.
What, just a few phone book signings?
We need them in now.
So, Henrik Larsson was on a podcast, which maybe phone him.
Well, by the way, probably still getting him up front.
Aye.
I'm bloody sure he would.
What's Chris Sutton? He's on the pundit. Phone him up and see what he's doing. Fucking.
Well,
Johan Melby at centre half. He's.
Henrik Larsson's podcast worth a watch. Get a watch, folks.
But it's just, I mean, is that all this club's got? Cheap option again after cheap option, and this isn't just because Martin O'Neill's in charge and you know they've got a manager. See if this was a one-off, I'd kind of let them away with it. But I'd be like, right, do you know what?
window.
But it's the same every single window, and it's not going to change.
No, true.
And I don't know where we go at. Kyogo obviously rejecting his,
I
as
was
much.
a bit. I kind of. I was towards the word I would use. I'm. I'm not really that bothered that Kyogo has rejected us,
No,
but
no, you
where's
will
the
be,
plan?
but
Where's the plan B?
you
That's
no. But that's the thing. There's no plan B. There's no plan B whatsoever because that's why I said, and that people might think I'm being defeatist. That's why Celtic will win nothing this season because we don't deserve to win it for a start. We are so complacent. It's unbelievable.
I mean, let's be honest. We're one bad result away from being out this title race.
I,
My
I,
opinion.
no, well,
Uh,
and Martin O'Neill will probably, and by the way, I just want to put my hands up and say, Martin O'Neill, no matter what happens, his
it's
legacy
bonkers.
is fine. Whatever, there'll be nothing. But I mean, it's just the fact that we are realistically going to come up to a year without a proper out and out centre forward. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
can still argue we need two, no one.
it's just so cheap. Everything about this club is cheap. The way we do things, recruitment, appointing managers, the stadium, everything about this club just screams cheap.
Amateur is the
Aye,
word that
amateur recruitment. We had an amateur manager in my eyes. We, players, aren't they good enough? It's just everything just reeks of just complacency. That's what it is. But that's what happens when you've got an owner or majority or whatever the fuck the cunt is, right? Who now you can tell I'm getting annoyed because I've just swore twice there in the space of
yeah.
2 seconds. But that's what happens. You've got a majority shareholder or whatever anyway, who isn't anywhere near the club, turns up. Oh, look at me. And then they've got a chief executive who can't answer his fucking phone.
A chief
Yeah,
executive that'll be, believe the rumours, offered this resignation and they said no.
because but that's the thing, because they want all the boys, they want the boys that are not going to disrupt the status quo. That's all it is, and that is what the thing is. It's just, and that's why it's just everything about this club is sheer complacency. And I'm sorry, right? And this is what they're trying to fly as well, because let's roll it. There's a bit of unrest. Let's roll it Martin O'Neill again and get everybody to, nah, no me, no for me, thanks.
We'll be, we'll be rolling out Martin when he's 90.
But that's what they're trying to do. I'm sorry, the first time there was a bit of like, what's the word, magic about it.
Aye, because the whole generation hadn't seen it. Your generation hadn't seen it.
And I hope that Martin O'Neill, that I really hope that Martin O'Neill can come in, and if it gets to win this league title, and boy, if he does, get a statue up. I think
Yeah.
I honestly, seriously. But what I'm not going to do is take my eyes off the real problems at this club. And that is the
Well,
Martin O'Neill, that is the board.
no, you shouldn't, mate. Keep your eyes on this sport.
But I've got a fear that a lot of people will take their eyes right off them.
No,
If you
I
want my
don't.
honest opinion. I hope
I,
not.
I don't have to ask. I mean, Celtic in their history have never had to change manager 4 times in the
It's
one season.
ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And Nancy looks like a panic appointment now. Clearly.
What the, But and I had a lot of sympathy for the guy, and I still do in a sense because I think but stats don't lie. He's the worst Celtic manager in history.
Yeah, and let's be honest, in 200 years you'll be talking about Wilfred Nancy after as a Celtic, that is. But they should be. But
Aye, but the thing is, right, and this is what the thing is. I genuinely don't know where we go in terms of recruitment. This squad is in dire need of recruitment, and there's no,
I
you
mean,
know,
they've got Sean Maloney basically doing Jackie all trades.
and by
Coach,
and I don't mean this to be rude to like Sean Maloney and Mark Fordringham, right? Don't get me wrong, I love the two of them, right? But Sean Maloney gets sacked at Wigan and gets sacked at Hibs. Now, would I rather they did the recruitment and the lawyers? Of course.
yeah.
Of course, that's one thing I will say. I and if they got to mark the deal with the signs, but I generally don't know what money is there to spend. There's no there's no clear communication. There's nothing. There's no
So
clear communication of
we'll
what's going
get
on.
we'll get a couple of loans and maybe one or two buys. I'll be happy.
Aye, no, you're probably
Did
correct.
this before.
And then before we move on to the actual football, but I honestly I had to get something else off my chest. It's just, yeah, you've got Brian Wilson coming and going, we need unity. Oh, but the same board will still ban their most vocal support. It's
Let's
just,
be
it's
honest,
mind numbing, man.
Brian Wilson's a puppet. Let's be real.
They are puppets. They're all puppets for Desmond. But
Yep.
it's just hypocrite after. It's just so hypocritical. It's unbelievable. It's like, oh, we need unity. We'll bring the most vocal bit of your support back into the ground, but you'll not do it, or you'll not even communicate with them or nothing.
Because the place is a morgue. Let's be honest. It's a morgue.
Honestly, it's and it's not even the fact they'll not let them, but it's the fact they'll not even communicate.
No, they
It's
don't
just,
want the GP back in.
it's unbelievable. I mean, it's just. I know you're probably, and I agree with that as well. I don't think they want the Green Brigade back in. And I genuinely, I think that's the kind of master plan. I think, to be honest, but I mean, I don't know kind of where the recruitment's coming from. As we say, get one player in, and that winger from the Israeli club seems to be coming in. Doesn't look great.
There's no
Right.
one. But by the way, that's isn't a time for a 20-year-old winger.
Also, I think obviously as well with the football reasons, there's a lot of political reasons behind this as well, and I don't want to go on pure political because it is about football, but I mean, I don't. There's just a lot of the political
It's
reasons.
going to rub folk up the wrong way. It's the same reason we'll know appoint Robbie Keane in the summer.
And it's rightly so because this club have show really good support for Palestine.
Yeah,
And
by the way, that's the only good thing about the club in recent years, I would say.
aye, and as we come with this obviously this wing, I hope he comes in and does well because it's not the club he comes from. So, and that's why you need to separate in the football and the politics and stuff. Football wise, I don't think it looks that great if I'm being honest with you.
No, it looks a project.
So there's just for the politics side and the football side, there's just the signing isn't getting me excited if I'm being honest with you.
I don't think it will happen, Josh. Personally.
Because it's just I don't know, especially we've not got a centre forward. How many wingers do we need as well?
What we'll be doing with one, but at the end of the day, we need two centre forwards.
We could be doing a whole
guy on that hull, by the way, because one's not enough.
Aye, we could be doing my whole team, new team to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But who knows what's going to happen with this kind of January window. In terms of the more Alistair, because we've been on for 25 minutes about the one thing. But in terms of putting them on, Alistair, I, I've just not get any. I've not get any enthusiasm at all. I'm just looking ahead to the summer for me. To be honest with you, I just wish you could just simulate to the end of the season. To be perfectly honest with you, these players are just no good enough. The club's obviously and the supporters are at kind of loggerheads with the board. Martinelli's been drafted in, and I think he will stabilise us. But as I said, Alistair, he's not a miracle worker either.
Well, he's the only guy, in my opinion, that could possibly get us to compete for this league. But that's where the board have put us.
Aye, no, it's not even, you know, getting us to the league title. It's competing for the league title.
I
Competing.
remember, it was only a year ago we were playing Bayern Munich.
But I think that's another big issue at the club at the moment. I think it's, there's too many. Only 10 year ago we're in the knockout. Or only 5 year ago we were doing this, and why can we not create new things? We should be.
Yeah, I know. We keep going back the way.
If the club done that, and I'm getting back to me, if the club done their business this summer, who knows? We could have had more Champions League nights to talk about. But instead, this is where we are.
I definitely, mate. And what? I'll be honest, mate. I just want to win them all. That's
Aye,
where I'm at. I don't expect it to be pretty.
aye.
I just want to win them all.
I know. Dundee United have been
They
they're
haven't
the
won
best
a
of
game
them,
to beat us,
but
typically.
that's not difficult, is it? It's not really difficult. I think if Wilfred Nancy was in charge, I think Auckland Talbot would be fancying their chances. To be honest.
Definitely, mate.
But I mean, team selection wise,
He's going to go our back four,
aye, sense will actually prevail for once.
which
Go to
means
a
he'll
back.
probably bring skills and trust back together.
Um,
Because we've nobody else, really.
aye, I know. Goalkeeper, he will play Schmeichel, but I mean,
I wouldn't.
I know, but he's another one. I've
That's
had
so.
enough.
This squad is so unlikable.
It is because, and it's the most unlikable thing, right? I get that goalkeepers are going to go downhill in terms of like saving, but the fucking one thing you do, you keep yourself fit. It's the
Yeah.
most fucking minimum thing you do as a football player.
And
You
it's
keep
never
yourself fit.
his fault. It's never his fault either. But as I say, John, that's why I won the more. I mean, I don't care what it looks like.
Aye,
And I think we will, but I don't think it'll be pretty.
aye.
Get on.
Obviously, you'll go back to the back four, as you say, is midfield. Probably play Callum McGregor.
And the angles, and I think it'll bring real
Aye,
attack back in.
front line, this is where we'll get spoiled for choice, but don't worry, because Balakwisha and Tanek are back for AFCON. How much we've missed him. But I don't know. I really don't know, because I think any forward line you pick at Celtic, at the moment, it's pretty poor.
I personally think he'll play Kenny because we've nobody else.
Aye.
I think he'll play mine and one of the wings.
I think you're probably mighty than Yang, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I definitely.
Because
I don't. Well, I bet you Balakwisha's happy Martin was back because he did say you'll go on well with the next manager.
aye, so
How did that go?
aye, I know it's just the whole thing's just ridiculous. Honestly, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But to finish off, Alistair, I mean, score prediction wise,
On you go, Josh.
I did text Liam asking him, but I never got anything. So,
I'll probably go. I'm going to go 2-0.
I'm going 1-0.
Right. Liam will probably go 2-1 or something.
Aye, but as you say that, let's just try to get a win.
To try and get a bit of momentum, Josh.
Aye, and that's the only way it's going to change my mind if this squad can do that and recruitment. The both things that are going to change my mind don't seem to be coming in terms of momentum and signings. But I did say whoever had the best January, I think, would go on and win the title out of us, Rangers and Hearts, and we're having the worst. But that's not a surprise, is it?
No, well, we don't have our equipment.
No, it's not a surprise. I think anybody that is surprised that this is how January's gone. This is what it does go like. Even when we have got a settled manager and a somewhat settled recruitment model in place.
I think the club are behaving like they've writ this season off.
I think so. I think they know that this is just a complete mess, and it's a mess that they can't fix. But normally, if you can't fix something, you leave. But they won't. They'll stay around and they'll hang about like a bad smell. And that's what happens because in any other job, you'd be forced out. But this is Celtic, and it's jobs for the boys. Jobs for the boys, and everything. We'll just write season half, and we'll have a good summer window. Then that'll be shite. Then it'll be, we'll fix it in January, and that won't. It's just rinse and repeat, no matter who the manager is.
The manager's always the problem. I mean, we're looking at, and the summer window is going to be like that as well.
No, of course it is. But they had, and I'll continue to go back to this. I bet they had the cheek to call our most successful manager since Jockstein, statistically. The problem? Fuck off. I mean, fuck off.
I know.
And I'll never understand that. Brendan Rodgers had his faults. Of course he did. He wasn't flawless.
It was an ego trip.
Aye. He wasn't flawless. But look where we are now. We're in a much better position, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's just pathetic. And we'll be back here probably at the end of January talking about how we failed again. We failed Martin O'Neill this time, and that is a damning indictment. You failed Martin O'Neill?
We failed. I mean, Martin O'Neill said before he left, this team needs...
He said it three times in the last month. He said it in the last, since December, since he left. That's the third time he said it again today.
Yeah.
So if you fail Martin O'Neill, that is the worst look for you as a Celtic goal for me. But I don't know. But all Martin O'Neill and the players can do is obviously get the results from the park with the limited players that they've got there. And obviously we'll see what happens in January. But I'm going to wrap it up there for today's video. It's been a bit of a ranty video, but I'm just really cheesed off the day with Celtic. And just
understandable.
Nothing's coming out. The players that we don't look very good. And we're still sitting here without a centre forward, which, as I said at the start of the video, is just ridiculous. But until next time, exactly. But until next time, we'll speak to you later. And hail, hail.
Hail, hail.